Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com. I hope that I am live. I was running a little late tonight, and I just realized I hadn't put up the information on YouTube. So I wanted to quick get that information in there. I hope I did it before I got started. But if you are hearing me live, I would love it if you would let me know. It hasn't shown up on Facebook yet, so I'm not sure if it's working. So let me know if you can hear me, if I'm out there. You might want to refresh your screen. That might be something you need to do. I'll know here in just a second. Oh, looks like I'm live. Cool. Okay. So if you are out there, oh, you're not going to be able to hear me, but I will leave a message on the Facebook page that we are live. Oh, good. They can hear me over on YouTube. That's awesome. If you can hear me over on my website, you might want to just type in a message at the bottom or a comment and let me know that you can hear me. If you are on Facebook, I'm going to have to swing in there just quickly here. Yep. Refresh your screens, ladies, and you should be able to hear me. So let me know where you're from. And that would be awesome. And then I will bring up do a little screen sharing here. Okay, cool. Well, it looks like everybody can hear and see me. That's awesome. And just so you're aware, I think I just shut down a, did I shut down a thing I wasn't supposed, oh no, there it is. Okay, good. Okay, so it looks like everybody can hear and see me. So to get started, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the, where you are. If you're on Facebook and you are probably seeing a screen similar to this, this actually is just a, or I just totally changed it. A couple of reminders. Couple of things I need you to know. Down here in the corner with this big red arrow, if you see that little gear right there, if you tap on that, it will come up and it will show you a couple different speeds that will download to your computer. So the connection depends on what I have on my computer and what you have on your computer. If you want it to be in HD, you need to click that little gear and pop it up there higher. If you're having some problems and it's lagging and it's not working very well, you might want to drop down that number in that gear, and that will help you. It will help with the speeds. Down here in this corner on this red arrow, we have the auto refresh comments. And if you're on Facebook and you're commenting, and let's say you're in the middle of a comment and it's been 90 seconds since it refreshed, it's going to refresh automatically and you're going to lose everything you typed. So if you're typing in a comment and you don't want that to happen, just unclick this little box here and then it won't auto refresh. And then you can always go over here and refresh the comments if you wanted to see what people are saying. So I hope that helps. That's just a few little tidbits before we get started. We're actually going to jump right in. I have had a couple questions today and this week. Interestingly enough, I get this question a lot. And this one actually had to do with how to cut cardstock and what to do with it once you cut it. So that's where we are going to start with the cutting of the cardstock. Oh, good. I'm seeing that people can see. Teresa can't see or hear anything. I refreshed, but still nothing. You don't see her yet in New York, but other people do. Dorothy, I know others can hear me. So I don't know what to tell you. I hate when that happens, but hopefully they'll figure it out and head over to someplace that they can hear me at. So the very first one is, I get this question all the time. It's about how to cut your cardstock. And I have to be honest with you that this is one of those things that just is automatic to me now, because I cut cardstock all the time, that I forget. And so this is kind of a basic instruction on the beginning of how to cut your cardstock and how to layer your cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started, and hopefully if you have other questions, just post them wherever you are and I will get them answered. Hi Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm just going to talk a little bit about cutting cardstock and how to cut it. I had a fairly new stamper call me this week and say that's the hardest part for her, is knowing how to cut her cardstock and what shapes and what size. Oh, sorry, that was me. Hi Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm just going to talk a little bit about cutting cardstock and how to cut it. I had a fairly new stamper call me this week and say that's the hardest part for her, is knowing how to cut her cardstock and what shapes and what sizes to do it in. So I'm just going to give a really quick tutorial on a few things that's pretty basic, but it'll be easier for you or others who just need a little help with the cutting part. So I'm going to use our Stampin' Up! Cutter, and this is awesome because it has a cutting blade, a darker gray one, and a lighter gray one, which is a scoring blade. And I'm going to just start with a piece of our ultra smooth or Whisper White cardstock. So you have a couple of options, and our cardstock is 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11. And if you cut it in half, so I'm going to put it up here on the cutter to 5.5 and cut my cardstock in half, and then 4.25, that's the halfway point between here and here, and score it. Then I have a piece of cardstock that just folds in half. It's a very nice size. It's just a regular card size. So that's one way to do it. I'm going to hang on to those because I'm going to use them later. And the other way is to take your piece of 8.5 by 11, and put it into your cutter the long way. And this time it would be at 4.25 because that's half of a sheet from 8.5 to across. So if I score that and then turn it and or cut that, turn it and score it at 5.5 this time, that just gives me the same size card, only a different shape. So I fold it, and this time it opens this way. So the first time it opens that way, second time it opens this way, and that's just a half a sheet of cardstock for each card with that. Now the next layer, I would take, I'll just take the scrapbook that I have here, and I'm going to cut this in half at 5.5. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to layer my cards so they have the white or the background or the base of the card, and then a little border around it with a different piece of paper or a different color. And how I do that is I take a piece of cardstock and I cut it at 5.25. So a 1/4 inch off that side, and then at 4, which is another 1/4 inch off that side. And I'm going to have to get a different piece of cardstock because this isn't going to show up very well white on white. But I have this piece here of Cajun Craze that's already been cut that way. And so you can see when I layer this onto my card base, I get that nice even frame around there. So it's just a 4 by 5.25, ½ inch off each side. And that gives you that great layer. And then you can go ahead and cut your cards down even farther. And like I cut this one down. I took a piece of cardstock. This is a piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 4.25. And I decide, well, I'm going to cut this at in half. And so half is 2 3/4. Chop that in half. And you'll see how nicely this is going to layer on that and on that and on that, and how you get those even borders. So it's just a 1/4 sheet of cardstock cut in half is this piece. And then I took another piece of cardstock that I'd already cut, like this one, at 4 by 5.25, and I cut this one in half, and I end up with a nice layer for this piece. So when you're all done, you have several ways that you can work with this, and I just find this is really the easiest way to start any base of a card to begin with. So you have your base of your card, your first layer, your next layer, and your last layer. And you can just see, I just used really contrasting so you could see how it, you could see the different frames, but you see how it works. Boy, I don't have them in there very straight, but I hope you get it. So this one here, just use that base behind it. So the base of the card is a regular size card. And then
a 4 by 5 1/4 base that was put through an embossing folder, and then just decorate on the front. Very simple, very fun. This one here, same concept. There's your base of your card, there's your first layer, and there's your second layer. So I came down another 1/4 inch on that one. You can see the different looks that you get. This one I actually took a base of a card, and then the black piece that's under here actually went off, instead of a 1/4 inch on 2 sides, it went off a full inch on 2 sides. And so it just brings it a little bit, but I like the look that it gets. And then the last one here, again, same thing. Has your base of your card, and then your 4 by 5 1/4 piece on the back that's been embossed, and then a couple of different layers that are just a 1/4 inch in from each one. But lots of fun. So I hope that helps. Let me know. Thanks. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and sign up.
I hope that makes sense to you. I know it's really hard when you first begin. I'm coming back on screen here. It's really hard when you first begin because you're just not really sure how to cut your cardstock. And really, it's just cardstock. And so I use an 8.5 by 11 and I cut it in half, and that's card base. And then most of the other stuff that I do is just cutting in half, cutting in half, cutting in half. I'm kind of chuckling because I just look at my room. I really meant to clean up my stamp table today, but that didn't happen. I'm not sure why, but anyway, this is what it looks like most of the time. Honestly, I did move the garbage that was sitting right there. So anyway, I hope that helps. I have noticed there are people on my website. Were able to talk to me, send me a message. It looks like people on Facebook are able to hear me, and I'm gonna try to keep tabs over there on YouTube. That's always the hardest one for me to keep tabs up of who's watching. So, Jewel says, does everyone have a frame around what Diane is doing? First time she's ever seen that. Well, I hope it's a nice frame. Okay, it doesn't look like anybody on Facebook has questions, so that's good. I hope you learned something from just that quick card cutting tutorial. Oh, here I can check. Oh, I got all kinds of stuff on YouTube. Okay, yeah, people can hear me, people can see me. I've got people from Brazil, Florida. Nancy's from Idaho. Switched to YouTube. Facebook wasn't playing nice. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes Facebook is kind of finicky. Looks like Debbie came over from to YouTube too. So that happens. Okay, cool. We're good to go. I have quite a bit planned for tonight. Some of it is a little throwback. I called it Throwback Thursday because we're throwing some stuff back. It's actually some videos that I've done before that really pertain to tonight. So I pulled them back out so that we could look at them again. I have lots of videos up on my YouTube channel. If you haven't been there, there's all kinds of stuff there. You just might want to go check it out. Oh, this was another question I had this week. And that was how to line up these flower stamps with that punch. And when I first got them last year, I started to set them up and realized how difficult it was. So I thought, I'm going to show a video because this explains it, but it might be one of those videos you might have to go back and watch again. But if you have questions afterwards, please do not hesitate. Anytime you have a question, put it in any of the comment boxes to wherever you are, and I will find it. I want to make sure everybody gets their questions answered before the night is over. So let's start this one. Oh, and then I think the frame that you were seeing was actually one of my slides. Good gosh. There we go.
Hey Stampers, this is Diane Dimich with DDStamps.com, and today I'm just going to show you a couple little tips with the new set Flower Shop and its punch that coordinates with it. I have put my stamp set together, and when I did, I realized that the punch is not symmetrical. So you really have to be careful when you put your stamp sets together to make it easy for you to stamp without, or easy to punch it out once you've stamped it. So I'm going to show you a little tip that I did to put my stamp sets together, and I did make a mistake, so you'll see that too. But on my stamp set, what I did is I took a piece of paper, just a scrap piece of cardstock, and I put my punch in there and I punched it up. And then this is the piece of paper that I actually did. And then at the top, I wrote that this was the front of the piece of cardstock so that I knew that this was the way it was punched out. So That's how it punches out. Matches up with the top of the punch. That's the front of your stamp set. Then what I did when I went to go put my stamps together is I matched up these flowers. And if it looks like it matches sometimes, but it's not. But you will know exactly when it gets in there and matches. And then when you know that it matches, you know that this is not only the front, but it's the top. And this is the bottom of the punch. When you flip it over, this is the bottom part. So then what I did is I just came up and I put a little arrow on my wood stamp, so that I know when I ink this stamp up and I stamp it down, I want this arrow to be along the edge of the cardstock, so it's easy then to line it up with my punch. If you have clear stamps, I would recommend that what you do is do this exact same thing. Set it up, know that that's where the front is. This would be the bottom. Then what I would do is I would take a little tick mark, can't show you on here, but you know, on the clear stamps, just put a little dot or a little arrow on the back of the clear spot on the sticker or on the you know, the foamy dye stuff, the stuff that sticks to the clear stamps. Just so that every time that you set up your stamp, then you'll have that little arrow there, and you'll know that that should be the bottom edge of your cardstock. Let me show you how that all works. Okay, so once you have it all mounted together, and then I of course did the same thing with my stickers to make sure that they matched up with the front, so I knew exactly which was the sticker that went on there. So you're going to ink up your stamp. I'll just use this piece of cardstock here, scrap. You're going to ink up your stamp. I'm going to put that arrow along the edge, stamp it down, and then when I go to line up my punch, you can see how easy it is to line up. And then you can punch it up. Now, if I had, let's just for ease, say I didn't put an arrow on there, I'm just going to stamp that down. Then what I've got is I'm here and you're trying to match up that stamp with that punch, and it is going to cause you so much frustration. You're not going to like the stamp or the punch, and you're going to think that you've got it. Just about the time you think you've got it and you punch it out, it's not right, because there are some spots that are just a bit off. So put the arrow on there to know which bottom part goes onto your cardstock. This was the one I actually made the mistake on, where I thought I had it correct, put a little arrow, went to play with it one day to make some projects, and realized that I was off. So I had to redo it, and then now I have a big black dot, which I'm not real thrilled about, but it works, and it works for me, and it makes it easier to use the stamp set. So that's the big black dot, and now when I stamp with this particular stamp, this edge needs to be down on the cardstock, so it's kind of crooked, and it's kind of goofy, and it doesn't feel right, but I know that in the end it's going to be much easier to punch out. I hope that helps, and if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. Give me a call. That's easier said.
Okay, so anyway, just so that you're aware, I wanted people to know about that punch. That was one of the specific questions I got this week. I believe it was about that particular set too. So it's really a fun set, but if those things don't line up, then you get so frustrated. Hey, I just want to let you know, other people think my room's not as bad, so it could use a good cleaning. I need somebody to come in and just clean it all for me and let me start over, because I come in here and I get overwhelmed, and if I would just spend 10 minutes picking up that table, I probably wouldn't be so bad. So another question I had today was the difference between snail adhesive and the fast fuse, and they both look very similar, both in cartridges. The difference is that the snail is what I use when I'm putting together my cards. I usually just always use snail. Fast fuse it's a stronger adhesive, and it's good for boxes. They're both cartridges, so to take, you know, to redo them, once they run out, you just pop this apart and you buy a new piece like this, and it attaches to this, and then it works. One of the things with the fast fuse is there's a little, I hate to pull this apart, because if I break off that little, there's a little, let me see if I can, there we go. There we go. Actually, I think it's already broke off. Anyway, there's just a little bit of a little notch right there. And if that breaks off, then sometimes it's hard to use your fast fuse. Fast fuse is not hard to use, but it has a little trick to it. And actually there's a Stampin' Up! Demonstration on this fast fuse, but you just pull it back and then kind of give it a little check, just a quick check. Don't pull it back like this or you'll end up with a long string of adhesive. And that's when it doesn't work so great. So it's just a little check mark. And usually what I do is I will check it on one way and then the next time back I'll check it this way, just so that it doesn't pull that adhesive. There's a little cellophane adhesive thing on there, and if you keep pulling it the same way, it's going to pull it right off. If that doesn't make sense, I think it was Jenny, then send me another message and let me know. I can actually post up a video on either my Facebook or my website. Okay, now that we've gotten started, I want to make sure that you have a little bit of time now to ask some questions if you have them. But I want to apologize because remember last month when I was doing my workshop, as the night was going on, I was getting sicker and sicker. I'm better, but it's just been kind of crazy. So I did get pretty sick and was down for a couple days, and then I had some teeth problems. And anyway, I'm not going to whine because life has just gotten crazy, and I kind of walked away from my website and I kind of stepped back from Facebook. I just did a lot of different things because I just didn't have time. But I'm back, and things are getting back up on track. For those of you that wondered, my daughter did get the job in Chicago. She did decide to take it. I think last time, I think she was just headed to an interview, maybe. Yeah, I think she was flying to an interview. Anyway, she got the job in Chicago. We're very excited. She graduates next Tuesday from college with 2 engineering degrees and a minor in physics. I don't know where she got that, but must be her father. Anyway, and so I'm flying out to Oregon next week and driving back here with her. And then from there, we're going, at the end of the month, we're going to Chicago for a week to find her an apartment. And then she will be moving in April. But I'm very excited because the company is actually sending a moving truck to move her stuff. Not that she owns much, but she does plan to buy some stuff. She, you know, she's gonna take her bedroom set and all that stuff. Her room upstairs. So I will definitely then be an empty nester, which will be kind of weird, but we'll survive. I've never been to Chicago, so I'm looking forward to it. I know we won't have a lot of time when we're looking for an apartment. So anyway, if anybody out there is from Chicago or lives in Chicago, she wants to live, her job is going to be downtown, and she wants to live somewhere close to her work. So I'm actually, if you have any advice, send me a message or send me an email or let me know. I would love to hear what you have to say. Like I said, I've never been there, so I'm looking forward to going, and I'm sure she's going to love it. So let's see where we are. Oh, it is Celebration. This is the last month of Celebration. It ends after March. It goes through March, and then we're done. And sorry, I was just looking at questions. Okay, so so it is Celebration. This is the last month of Celebration. It goes to the end of March. There's 3 ways that you can earn free product. Of course, $50 purchase, you can earn free product. If you join Stampin' Up!, and I've had several people do this, you get $155 worth of product for $99. And that's a great deal. And then, of course, if you host a workshop, you get free product. So I wanted to show this. This is one of Stampin' Up's videos, but I love this stamp set, and I don't want you guys to miss out on this one. So.
Hi everybody, I'm excited to show you this fun stamp set from Celebration. This is called the What I Love stamp set, and what I love is that you can earn it for free. This set comes from our biggest promotion of the year, Celebration. This is called a 2-step stamp, and what that means is that you stamp it twice to get a different look every time. So here we just stamped it once, stamped it twice, and actually technically this one you stamp 3 times to get an even deeper, bolder look. I want to show you a fun technique using this stamp. So I want to show you how to get this really cute 2-step stamp image here. So we're going to start with our cardstock, and I've mounted my stamp sets. You can do this with any color of cardstock, any color of ink pad. And we're going to use some embossing powder today. So the first thing we want to do is we want to stamp our base image. I'll bring this in so you guys can see what we're making here. And you can stamp this wherever you want. The idea behind something like this is it's supposed to look really organic and just kind of free-flowing. So you're going to stamp down your base image. And then we're going to take our second image. We're going to stamp it over the top. Versamark. And the reason we use Versamark when we're heat embossing is because it stays wet, juicier for longer. So it's easier for our powder to adhere to the ink and get a better embossed image. Knock the extra powder off. Okay. Then we're just going to use our heat tool to melt that powder down. Just like that. And you repeat this process all over until you get an image that looks like this. Let me show you a few more fun ideas that you can do you can make using this stamp set. Here is a little thank you card, a couple of thank you cards. And on these, we've just stamped it multiple times to get those really robust, gorgeous flowers. Here's one more idea. I like this one because we've stamped the leaves off, so you get just that cute, subtle look there. Make sure you contact your local demonstrator to find out how you can earn this stamp set for free, or visit our website at stampinup.com.
Okay, so that's just a really fun stamp set, and I don't want that one to go away, but I don't want you to miss it either. And anyway, the gal that did that video is Andrea Withers. She works down in Salt Lake, and I've worked with her a few times on some presentations I did. She's wonderful. I love her. Love her. So there's this. Goodness. Oh, this next one is a technique. This is kind of cool too. Of just a really fun technique. It's going to be a quick video, but I wanted to show this. And actually, I don't even think anybody's talking in this. It's just music. That's kind of nice too. So let's, come on. Sorry about this. Whoops, sorry about that. I was actually checking something. Some people are saying that they lost me on Facebook. So I hope that you guys are still out there. If you are not, you may not be. I may not be live anymore. Let let me know if you can't hear me or see me. If I've lost you on Facebook, we will have a videotape. So I'm just going to keep going because there's nothing I can do about it at this point. And I will make sure that I post up the video. So fun little technique using the Stampin' Majig. That's what that little perpendicular thing was. That looks like an L. It's called a Stampin' Majig, and it's a nice way, if you keep it in the same place, you can always line up that stamp right over the top of it. But I thought that was kind of a fun way to do some rainbow stamping. So I hope you like that. And that too was another little gal from Stampin' Up. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that everybody is aware this month, March, is Paper Pumpkin's 3 years celebration. And I don't know what's in the box, but I love the color. If you look at my clothes and what I wear these days, I'm always wearing something that is Bermuda Bay. That's that color. And the box this month is going to be Bermuda Bay. And today is the last day to sign up for it. So if you're interested in getting the Paper Pumpkin box, oh good, you guys still see me on Facebook. Yay, good to hear. Okay, I hope that, yep, Lee got back on. Good. Okay. So anyways, this is the last day to sign up for Paper Pumpkin for this month. So if you are interested, I actually put a link down on Facebook. There's a Paper Pumpkin button. You can click on that afterwards and it will take you right to sign up for Paper Pumpkin. But I'm not missing it. Paper Pumpkin is one of my favorite items of Stampin' Up's, and I will tell you why it's my favorite item. It's because it's a project that comes to me every month that I don't have to plan. I don't have to cut cardstock. I just need some adhesive and some scissors. And usually I will actually sit like at my kitchen counter or my dining room table. I'll sit somewhere out of my stamping room because I just want to do whatever the project is. I do a mentoring thing up at the high school, and sometimes I grab my Paper Pumpkin box and take that with me. And kids are really gung-ho to talk a little bit more if you've got them doing something else. And so I share my Paper Pumpkin, we do a little project, and then they spill their guts and we laugh a lot. And so anyway, I love Paper Pumpkin and I just don't want you guys to miss out. Besides that, like I said, Bermuda Bay, my favorite color. That's what color the box is going to be this month. Okay, this month's tutorial is Birthday Blooms. It's 4 cards using this stamp set. Birthday Blooms has become like one of my favorite stamp sets out of this whole Occasions mini catalog. Don't get me wrong, because I love a lot of other stuff too, but just so you're aware, if you are a member of my virtual club, you get the Birthday Blooms tutorial with a $25 purchase, and the club membership is a 6-month membership, and after 6 months you get $25 in free product. Your commitment is $25 a month for 6 months, and then you also get the tutorial. If you're not in my club, then it's a $40 purchase and you get the tutorial for free. But these are great tutorials. It's 4 different projects with videos and PDFs that go with it so that you can make those projects yourself. And I must say, they're pretty cool projects. I like them. Weekly deals this week are great. The Bow Builder Punch, probably the best deal. This Irresistibly Yours Designer Series paper is kind of fun. It's actually white paper, and it's got like embossing on it that resists. So the picture that it's just showing there really quickly is just they spritz some color onto it, and then the color doesn't go onto the embossed part. It wipes right off. Anyway, there's some fun things there for the weekly deals. And now it's Throwback Thursday. And this was just for fun because I realized that I have several great little basket ideas for Easter. And I wanted to show one of them. And then I was like, well, then I want to show this one and I want to show this one. So anyway, I'm just going to show, I think there's 3 videos in this. I'll stop in between and look for questions. But this is one of them using the basket die. And make, oh, now you're going to see everything. Using the basket die to make a bigger basket than just your regular size berry basket. This makes a double basket. So here's the next video. I'll look for questions.
Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a double berry basket. And so to begin with, you're going to go ahead and cut 4 pieces from the berry basket die. to give you these pieces. You're going to need one piece of extra cardstock that is 5 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then I went ahead, these were the handles that were cut out with the berry basket. And as you can see, not only did I cut the green cardstock, but then I went ahead and I just cut another piece of designer series paper because I wanted to just make that top of that basket fancy. And this is actually 3 of these. You'll get 4 when you cut out your basket. I just used 3 and I put them together and then just folded them and kept the middle straight. And I actually glued this together a little bit before I did this video because I wanted to make sure it was ready to go when I was ready to put this together. So it's actually very simple. And what you're going to do is these all have score lines on them. And so you're going to go ahead and just fold right on the score line of 2 of the pieces, and those are going to be your edges. And then you're going to come in with this, and you're going to go ahead and just score on one edge. So you're going to score it up on one edge, and then as you can see, this kind of angles out, and it won't fit in your basket. And so you're going to go ahead and just trim off, and it doesn't really matter how you do it, just trim off from the score line up to there. Oops. Just getting rid of that angled piece. And the reason that I'm doing that is because it's going to be inside the basket. No one's going to see it anyway. So it doesn't have to be the perfect score. And then on this one, I'm going to go ahead and score my cardstock or fold it on the score line, and then go ahead on this and cut those pieces off. So 2 pieces are cut and 2 pieces are not. And once you've done that, this goes together fairly simple. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to add, I'm using the multi-purpose Tombow glue. I'm going to go ahead and add glue onto each of those because this one's going to come and actually go right down as if it was going to be just a single basket, and then line those 2 up and pull this one along this side so that it holds your basket together. And then you're going to do the exact same thing with this one. So we'll add more glue. The one nice thing that all this layering does is it gives your basket a nice sturdy bottom. And so you could actually put something fairly decent inside there. I'm thinking like a little loaf of bread would be absolutely adorable. So once you've done that, then what you're going to do is this is the piece that's going to come in and cover that whole thing up. And so you're going to go ahead and just put adhesive all along the bottom and add your cardstock into the bottom. And then you can see how it covers up and makes, you know, you don't see all the layers that you've got in there, but it does give it a nice sturdy bottom so that you could actually put something with a little oomph inside there. Now these 2 pieces here, they overlap just slightly. So I'm just going to add just a touch of glue, and I'll fold that down. And then a touch of glue on this side. And that's just to hold those sides together. When I go to put it together, it's going to be much easier if the sides are glued together. So there's the beginning of your basket. You can see how it just goes together just exactly like the single basket does. And then I'm going to put on my band. And I like to use the Stampin' Up! Stapler because I think it's fun and it makes these baskets look old-fashioned. So what you're going to do is just line up the top of your basket and just making sure, I make sure that my edges are similar. And then come in with the stapler and then do the opposite side. And you can start with any side, it doesn't really matter. And again, make sure that it's fairly even so that you have as many scallops on this side as you have on this side. Looks like it's about 2, a little bit more than 2. And again with the stapler. And you could glue this if you wanted to, but I really do like the stapled look. And then just do your edges. And there is a fun basket. It's a big basket. It would hold like a big loaf of bread. But I do want to just show you a couple things to jazz this up a little bit. You could come in with your other pieces of cardstock that are cut with that berry basket, and you could attach a handle onto your basket, which I just might do. And I again would just do that with the stapler. And come in on both sides here. So we end up with a little handle on our basket. Cute, isn't that cute? And then the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use our butterfly thinlet dies. And I love these butterfly thinlets. I know that they weren't available for a little while, but it sounds to me like they're coming back. If they don't come back this week, they'll be back soon. Stampin' Up! Is hoping April 8th. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your magnetic plate, a plastic plate. I come in with 4 layers of dryer sheet, clean dryer sheet, so it has a nice, pretty smell to it. And then you're gonna go ahead and lay down your cardstock for your butterfly die. Lay down the die. I'm gonna do both of them at the same time. And I'm using colors from the paper that I used here. I just use the colors that coordinate. So it's Tangelo, or Tangerine, Tangerine Tango is the orange, and then the Blushing Bride is that color. So let me line those back up. Run them through the Big Shot. And this is what I love about this little trick with the dryer sheets. So you come out and take off your plastic plate. Your framelit should pop right off. Both, hopefully. I haven't done this big flower with this technique yet. Oh yeah, it's gonna work. Once those are off, then you can just pick up your cardstock and pull that butterfly. And all those little pieces of cardstock stay stuck to the dryer sheet. Well, not all of them stay stuck, but most of them. And then you might have a few that you just have to poke out. But that's a fun way to get these framelits with lots of little intricate pieces easily. So there's that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come in with a glue dot. I'm gonna attach a glue dot onto this butterfly and attach this butterfly onto my basket. And it just gives it a fun country look with a little pizzazz, but wouldn't a cute loaf of banana bread be in there, just be adorable? Anyway, easy way to make your basket double the size. So thank you, and I hope you have a great day. And if you haven't already,
I guess I was a little obsessed with the banana bread and the loaf of bread, and everything was about bread in that video. But I do have the basket here. I still have the exact same one I did in that video. This was video I did a year ago. And so when I say that the butterfly dies are going to be available April 9th, it's actually they're available now. It was a year ago. So anyway, it's just a great way to take that berry basket and make it a bigger size basket. And what a great little idea for Easter or May Day. So somebody did have not a question, but a comment. Oh, Anne said she likes to use her water-based markers to do the rainbow, and that does work. Works great, actually. And so markers are a good way to do that. Oh, Buffy said birthday was spelled wrong in your birthday balloons. Oh, good catch there. I didn't actually catch that, but thank you. And I also got a message from somebody. I think it was on I think the message was on, I don't know, Facebook, but they messaged congratulations to my daughter and good luck traveling. So yeah, we're excited. I haven't heard from anybody yet that's in the Chicago area, so I'll be waiting. I've never been there. Like I said, she was there for 24 hours when she went for the interview and then came back. So does anybody have any questions? Because I've got another video I can show you. Oh, these are some cute ideas. These were popped up onto the Stampin' Up! Website. Oh, I bet I'm not on. I bet it's me on there. I bet you guys aren't seeing this. Glad I realized that. I got to do my screen share. These were a couple of ideas with that berry basket. Look at how cute those are. Done in the chocolate paper to look like the little Easter baskets. I love the little bunny. This little bunny down here. I think it's adorable. Wait till you see how you make it. It's so cute. Oh, looks like So those are the baskets. This is the regular size berry basket. And then look at this banner. How cute is that? And this banner was made, the bunnies are made with these framelits. And so these flowers actually cut the, oh, sorry. How am I going to figure out how to get that to stay? Anyway, that's how you do that bunny, but I just think that's really cute. This was done by one of Stampin' Up's artisan designers, and I love that paper, and I love the banner. Looks like a lot of fun. Okay, this is the basket that I did with the envelope punch board. If you have the envelope punch board, this is a good one. But just another way to use your envelope punch board.
Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make an Easter basket or a May Day basket, whichever you prefer, or just a basket, with the envelope punch board. And so you're going to start with a piece of cardstock. This is 8 by 8, and you're going to come in here. You're going to need your little scoring tool, and you're going to go to the 2-inch mark. You're going to punch and score, and you're going to do 2 inches. Punching and scoring all the way around. And I'm just going to tell you right now, when you go to score it, you don't want to go all the way to the end because it's going to come off the board. So just go down till you're almost to the end and punch. And then you're going to flip your cardstock over, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side at that 2-inch mark. All the way around. And this is where your lines, when you're scoring, they're actually meeting up with the one you did on the other side. So it's scoring all the way through. And there you have it. Once you have that, just move that out of the way. And you're going to come in, and on those score lines, you're going to go ahead and cut. I'm hoping that you can see this, that you're going to cut up the score line to that line that goes across. You're going to do this on opposite sides. And it doesn't matter which sides. Go ahead and do that. Up the score line to that. And then you're going to come in and fold those score lines. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something. You're going to come back in here, and that's probably, it doesn't matter, but whenever. But just line this up so that the score line is lined up with this little pokey out thing, and then you're going to score that. So you're going to score right across the tops of all those 2 inches. Probably easier to do when you haven't cut it. So I would recommend you do that first. All the way around. And then, like I said, you're going to go ahead and fold your score lines. And I'm going to go ahead and use some Tombow liquid glue, and you're just going to put a little glue on that end, and you're going to bring these up, but don't bring them all the way. You're just going to bring them like to a triangle so that there's a triangle in there, and then hold that. Because I use Tombow, sometimes it takes a little bit. And then you're going to go ahead and Tombow the other side and attach that. We want to make sure, eyeballing it, that they're similar. Can you see how the basket's starting to come together? And then on this one, you're just going to go ahead and glue the edge of that. This actually isn't going to fold down where your score line is. You're going to come over the top of that basket and push that down. And that makes the side of your basket. Do the same thing here. And the only reason that I started the glue here is because I don't really want the glue where that triangle is. I'm just putting the glue where I know there's going to be cardstock to hold it. And then these two sides can go down too. Oh, I'm going to hold that one down a little longer. And those actually go down on the score line, but you can begin to see how this begins to take shape. Okay, and then you're going to come in with a piece. This is actually just a 1-inch strip that's 1 by 8.5. And I'm going to add a little Tombow to it. You could use any adhesive. I think Tombow works good because you get a little give, you get a little time to manipulate it. But you could also use sticky strip, which of course would really hold this basket together. So there's my basket that I'm going to end up decorating for Easter, and I'll post it up on my blog when I'm finished decorating it. I hope you enjoyed this video and have fun making baskets.
Yay! Okay, so that was the basket. I did have a couple people ask questions. One of them was, I believe it was, I'm thinking Linda? No, Sharon. Sharon said that she's getting bubbles on her ink. She She doesn't get a smooth coverage, and she has bubbles on her ink pad. And sometimes when you clean your stamps, if we use stamp cleaner and you clean your stamps, if you still have like the sudsy soap from the cleaner, and then you ink it into your ink pad, it will produce like suds and bubbles. So just make sure, I mean, it's not gonna hurt it terribly, but just make sure that when you're using your stamps that you're not cleaning them and then putting them into an ink pad with suds on them or soap or cleaner on them. Another thing is sometimes they get over inked and then you do get air bubbles. I would take a back of a spoon, Sharon, and just run it over your ink pad, kind of to smooth out and take that, like frost it, like you would a cupcake or something, or a piece of cake, and then spread that ink around a little bit more on your ink pad. And if that doesn't help, I would take a piece of paper towel, which I see I have back there, and just blot your pad just a little bit. It might just be a little too over inked. So hopefully those little things will work. The other thing is when you're inking up your stamp on your ink pad, you don't have to like mush it in there, you know, and kind of rough it up. Just lightly tap it a few times, tap, 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 and that will help too. Sometimes if you get in there and you're mushing it around and you're pounding it or whatever, it's air bubbles, and that's what you're getting, air bubbles all over your ink pad, and then it gets on your stamp and it might not ink it evenly. I hope that makes sense. Janet said she has a friend that lives in Chicago, so she's going to message me tomorrow. That's awesome. Jewel made 32 baskets with the embossing, with the envelope punch board for her church class, Sunday school class. That's awesome. So that's great. Okay, now this next little basket, I made this one a few years ago. It was a big hit on Pinterest one day. Oh, that's not what I want. What do I want? There, sorry. I didn't want to pull up the wrong screen. This one here, it's so cute. See, it's got 3 of those tiny little eggs in it. This is a cute one. I made these a couple years ago as our Easter they were at the table setting on Easter dinner for my family.
Hey Stampers, I got a really cute project today. I was, of course, perusing Pinterest when I found this basket, and there were no directions, even though I clicked on this, it was just images. So I had to come home after work, figure out how to cut the pieces and put it all together, and I did, and I think it turned out adorable. I'm gonna do a little change up just to the next one. This was actually just my prototype just to see how it went. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to need 4 pieces of 5.5 by 3.25 inch cardstock. And I've used crumb cake, and I will put the directions in the measurements up so you'll know that. You'll need 1 piece that is 7.25 by 1/2 inch, and 1 piece that is 5.5 by 1/2 inch. So as you can see, it just takes a very little bit of cardstock. The one thing I did do is I sponged my edges, and I'm going to just show you a little quick tip here on my sponges. I cut them up, and then I just staple on a little tab of whatever color was in that ink, or what color ink was in that sponge, and that way I just use the same sponge all the time for the same color cardstock, and it works out great. And I just keep them all in a little big container and just dig through looking for what I need. So I've already sponged these other ones because I didn't want you sitting here watching me sponge the whole time. And then what I did is I took my square lattice folder, and I'm laying these in here. They don't have to be in there perfect. You just want to make sure they all get run through the Big Shot. Sorry, it's taking time. Might need a little bit more space here in my area because my Big Shot didn't fit in here. So, okay, so I have those 4 done, sponged and square lattice, and then I'm going to take my longer piece, my 7.25 by 1.5 inch, or 1/2 inch, excuse me. And I see I forgot my scissors, of course. And just come in here and run sticky strip the length of that whole piece. And of course the sticky strip needs to be on the side, opposite side of the sponging. And then you're going to pull your sticky strip off. Oh, good gosh, maybe. There we go. And then you're going to line up your strips right along the top edge of that. I hope you can see this. Of course, with the sponged side down. And push them into the sticky strip so it stays. So it looks like this. And then you're going to take this piece and bring it around to this side. And you're going to do that and just line it up at the top there. And then when we're all done, we're going to have to do some manipulating of those pieces. But you see how I'm lining that up all the way around, lining up my tops. And then these two, and this is where I talk about manipulating. So then you got to kind of push them through to form the basket. And then bring those together. And God's shut. And there's your basket. Pretty easy to do. Then what I did is I just stuck it down on the table and kind of squished it down till I got it to the shape that I wanted it. And then on this one, I forgot to bring my punch, but you'll get it. So on this one, I cut out a circle punch, and I'll tell you what size that is once I figure it out. I added some adhesive to that and then squished it down. And that way, otherwise the basket doesn't really stand up straight. And I'm going to use these as place settings at my Easter table. And I wanted them to be able to stand up straight. So that's all it is just a circle punch glued to the bottom. And then I put on my handle with the other strip that you have. The 5.5 by ½ inch, sorry. And then punch a hole with your 1/16 punch and add some brads. Do that on both sides, and you'll know because it's the opposite right directly across from it, and it's actually the same piece. This would be a good place to have some music. I don't know how to do that yet. My son hasn't taught me that part yet. But hopefully he's getting home today, and he will. So there you have it, your little basket. Then what I did is I just stuffed some of that horrible grass that, has a tendency to be found all through the year. Stuffed that in there, and then 3 little chocolate eggs. And I actually picked my ribbon color by the color of my eggs, and so I just tied a little bow and stuck it on with a glue dot. Called it good. I actually like it better.
There's my little Easter basket that I figured out. I love that little basket. That was one of my favorite projects that I've done. See, Petra just decided she needed to go out. So let me grab the door for her, send her outside. Sorry about that. It was a year ago yesterday that Petra arrived at our house. It's hard to believe it's only been a year, and then I think, God, it seems like she's been here forever. We were very lucky to get her, so we're pretty happy about that. Okay, so that was my cute little Easter basket. I think I just realized watching this, I'm going to do those little Easter baskets with my next group up at the high school because I forgot how cute and easy they were. Diana Knapp, Sharon's wondering what part of North Carolina you live in because she's in North Carolina too. So if you can post up there in the comments on Facebook, she should be able to see it. And Di, I'm excited that you guys are there often, that you go to Chicago and you love it. So that's cool that Bob goes there once a month or whatever, a week for a month. We're excited. Like I said, it's exciting for her. My daughter absolutely loves to go to New York. So I think that she's going to find a lot of things in Chicago that are similar. She's really into theater and the arts. And so that's going to be awesome. And who doesn't love an adventure? So we're excited about that. Are there any other questions? I'm kind of trying to keep tabs on and see where we are because I don't want to miss anything, but we are getting close to being done. It just seemed like this hour went very fast. Doesn't look like there's any more questions over on YouTube, so that's good. Doesn't look like there's any more questions on Facebook. Yeah, don't you love that? Yeah, I did some Easter stuff tonight. I almost forgot. I mean, I was thinking I had another, for some reason I was thinking I would be able to get Easter in, but Easter is the end of this month. So I didn't want you to miss that. Okay, so just so you know, I am going to keep the party open till Sunday. Using the hostess code, you will get a goodie bag. Everybody's goodie stuff went out last month. What did I just send out goodie bags for something? I don't remember. But so if you place an order using this hostess code, what I do is everybody's order goes in on the hostess code, and then I split up the benefits and send them out to everybody that placed an order. If your order is more than $150, do not use the hostess code. You will automatically get $15 in free product if your order is at least $150 through Stampin' Up. And then you'll also get a goodie bag from me. But I want you to go ahead and get those hostess benefits yourselves. Now, sometimes it's happened where somebody doesn't remember to use the hostess code, and I've made sure that your goodie bag was a little bit bigger than everybody else's so that you got your free products, just so you're aware of that. I suppose I should show you. You guys can, some of you can go and start the door prize drawing. I am going to pull up the Stampin' Up site because I want to show you where that hostess code goes in. So if you're, the door prize form is either on YouTube, there's a link to it down in the description. On Facebook, there's a button, and on my website, there should be a link there too. I'm going to pull up screen share again. I want to share a different screen this time. I'm going to share the Stampin' Up screen. Just so you're aware, this is where you go. This is just www.stampinup.com. You hit the store. You make a purchase. I'll just pop something in there. Send it to my bag. View my shopping bag. So I can keep shopping or I can view my shopping bag. If I view my shopping bag, this is where you put in the hostess code, and this is where you hit apply. If you have $50 in product under special offers, there'll be a little link down here that says or right here, you earn one celebration item. It'll pop up and you click on that, and then it'll give you a drop-down menu for your free celebration item. So hopefully, hopefully I took it off. Oh yeah, okay, so we're on the store. Perfect. So that's how you do the hostess code. Let me grab the door for Petra. And if you guys want to go ahead and start filling out your door prize, I have actually, oh, you know what I'll do? I have 2 prizes here. What I was going to do is just have somebody pick, whoever won to pick their prize. But I'm going to have them pick a prize, and then I'm going to have them pick another number, and then we'll have 2 winners for the door prizes. What the heck? What the heck? We'll give out 2. So these are the door prizes. This one is Love You So hostess set in the clear mount. And this one is Best Thoughts hostess set. I'll keep those. So the first winner of the door prize gets, which is going to be number 175, which means absolutely nothing to you guys. But those of you who are filling out the door prize slip, what happens is it populates into a spreadsheet. I picked a number beforehand. So that line of the spreadsheet will be the hostess winner. That person will get to choose which set they want. If they're live on here still, they will get to then pick the next number for who gets the second door prize. So the first person will get it. The second one will just get the leftovers. And hopefully they're on live. Sometimes they're not. I didn't even think of that. If they're not here, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm going to the door prize form. 175 happens to be Kathy Thomas. Kathy Thomas, and it's your email address is KLPT. If you could just let me know if you are out there, if you won, I need to know. I don't know where you would be. Let me check YouTube. Down, Buffy, it's down in the description. There should be a link to it. Okay, I did have, let's see. Yeah, Julie's excited for my daughter, and now she knows that, yeah, I do have a new place to visit. I'm excited. There's lots to see and do. And you know, the other thing that's exciting is my husband is a huge Chicago Bears fan. Huge, I mean, we're talking huge. And so I know that this fall, football season, he will go out there and visit her. He's not one to travel very often, unlike me, but that's going to be perfect. It's going to be awesome. So I haven't heard. I don't know who won. I don't know if she's still on. If you are out there, send me an email, send me a message, send me in the comments, let me know that you heard that you won. If I don't hear from her in the next few minutes, I'm going to, I'll pick another number. Okay, well, I'm still waiting to hear. Oh, she did it. Yay, Kathy's here. Okay, Kathy, pick a number between, you need to pick a number between 146 and 240. 146 to 240. You pick a number, that'll be our second winner. You can post it in the comments on Facebook. That would be awesome. I can see them. Woohoo! No, Julie asked me if I've seen the sneak peeks of the new incoming colors. I will tell you that Stampin' Up! Posted up a bag that we're going to get. I'm going to a convention next month in April down in Salt Lake. They posted a picture of a bag that we're going to get there, and it said it was a hint to what the new in colors would be. And now I feel terrible because I probably should have posted a picture of it, but yeah, I don't know for sure. We won't know the new in colors. We'll get the new catalog next month. I know, isn't that amazing? Feels like we just got this catalog. So know that that's coming. If you have in color ink pads, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you have in color ink pads and you want to make sure you get a refill, order them this month, because the minute that they remind people that some of those ink colors are going away, those refills are gone. So I want you to make sure that you get that. Okay, Kathy picked 213. So, oh, Kathy, which stamp set did you want? That's the other thing I need to ask you. So if you will post which one you want, then I will give the other one to Jana. Jana earned the second. And Jana, your email is J Ripley at the beginning. So if you let me know your address, I will get those sent out to you. Kathy, I'm going to need to know which stamp set that you want, and I will show them now. So it's this one or this one. This one is Love You So, and this one is Best Thoughts. Kathy gets to choose, and then Jana gets the second one. So just let me know which one you want, and I will pop that in the mail to you tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed the workshop. It was a lot of fun. I know it seems like it went fast. I am looking to make sure that there are no more questions out there from people. Now's the time to ask. You can always ask me a question later, so you can always send me an email. I try to get them answered within 24 hours. I know that I was not very good over the last couple weeks. I feel terrible about that. Things got crazy, but I will be better. So I'm just waiting to find out, Kathy, which stamp set you want. Other than that, if there's no more questions, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you, lady. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I shouldn't say ladies because I do have men on here too. let me know if you have any questions. And like I said, I'll be around back in and out traveling the next couple weeks, but I will be always able to check my Facebook and my email. So I thank you. No, Lorene asked if I had swaps ready for on stage. No, I don't. That's one of the things I have to do in the next couple weeks. What we do is we make swaps cards, and then we go to these conventions and we trade them with other people. And I love to swap. I love to see what other people are doing, and I haven't even thought about it. So I will get to work on that. Anyway, thanks everybody, and I hope you have a great evening. Speak with you soon. Bye.